Hey gang, Sally here with Kit. With Kit, he's on this side, he's usually on the other side. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. I know I am. We're here with something different. I'm going to be trying this. This will be the intro for every single one of these videos. But I've talked to a couple of friends who like my videos. Yay, thank you for that. And they all thought this would be a good idea, so I'm going to give it a shot and see what you all think too. So let me know in the comments down below. These are driving day videos. So I can't promise you you're going to get to see, you won't get to see everything that I was actually going for that day. Um, and these are going to be completely unedited. So what you're going to see is some driving, and then you'll hear me say, GoPro, stop recording. And that's how you know the end of that segment. I'm not even going to edit that out. I'm going to just leave it in. And some of these will be like super long. Some of them won't be very long. They'll probably all be fairly long, I'm guessing. But the deal is I run two cameras when I'm driving, and I'm not recording constantly. I record when I think of something that I want to talk about or when I think the scenery is interesting. And a lot of times I will, when I'm trying to edit a video down, I'll go through and I will edit it down so that if it's just a driving segment, I'll speed it up so you can see the scenery but get through it faster. I'm not doing that. You can speed it up on YouTube though if you want to. So, hope you enjoy this. As always, thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate you taking your time to do that. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. If you love this, let me know. And if you don't like it, you can let me know that too. Um, if you can stand to do it, I'd really appreciate it if you can stay all the way to the end, because YouTube really likes it when you watch an entire video, and so do I. And as always, comments, thumbs up, all that good stuff. We're going to roll the intro and get right into it. Well, in addition to all these strange trailers that make it appear that people are living here, even though I didn't see any people living here last night, we got a bunch of people showing up this morning that are apparently associated with all of these work trucks, and kind of hanging around. There's like a whole bunch of them. Head north. And then somebody else was using this as a park and ride. Oops, let's go the right way. Oh, and this one trailer I didn't notice has spray paint all over the side of it. Oh, and a broken out window. One wonders what that might be about. But like this one has its slide out. Turn left, then turn Didn't see anybody that was actually using any of those last night. I felt a little bit better about the situation being a little bit less creepy in terms of the fact that like two other people pulled in who were obviously overnight travelers. So that made me feel a little bit better. And today we are planning to knock, in fact one of them is still over there, Class A with a trailer but nothing on it, so that's kind of odd too. At the light, turn left on the US 40. Today we are planning to see two different national parks, one in Vermont and one in New Hampshire. And then tonight we'll be in New Hampshire. So I know I'm not spending a whole lot of time in Vermont, that's okay. I think Vermont is the one that is wider at the north end, 29 miles. And New Hampshire is narrower at the north end. They're almost mirror images of each other, which I hadn't really realized before, or at least thought about. Probably knew it in like 5th grade geography class. Anyway, we've only got about 29 miles to our first destination in Vermont. So we'll see what that's looking like. GoPro, stop recording. Well, see the color in that tree right there? We just passed one that had even more color. I think I'm in time. My goal is to get up to northeastern Maine and then potentially hang out there and wait for the colors to turn. I hope I'm not going to be, racing to catch the tail end of it. And we have been going steadily up pretty much since we started. And And I'm pretty sure we started at about 700 feet. Welcome to Killington, part of the Green Mountains, and home to a big ski resort, I think. I think we started at about 700 feet. We are over 2,000 now. In fact, to the point where my ears are closing up a little bit. That's kind of unusual. Yeah, and I'm seeing more color at these elevations. I haven't looked at the elevations in northeastern Maine to see what that looks like. Probably ought to do that when I stop tonight. I did absolutely nothing after I got stopped yesterday, other than, you know, take Kip for a walk, and we strolled around the shopping center we were staying in. Okay, so now we're up at the top. We're going to go all the way back down. What do we get up to here? 2229. Unsafe to pass. Yeah, no kidding. Here's another 802 Spirits Vermont liquor store. I have to admit, after my excursion into the Grand Union grocery store visiting the 802 Spirits and talking to the guy who was running it, I went online and looked at New Hampshire. New Hampshire is cheap, comparable to, you know, West Coast prices that I'm used to. So I ordered up a stock up, which I'm going to pick up this evening, or possibly tomorrow morning. The only downside to it is that you have to, if you do an online order, you have to wait for them to send you an email that says that your order is ready for pickup. So I got the email this morning that said that they had received it. They claim orders are usually ready in 12 to 24 hours. So hopefully I can pick up this evening. Otherwise, you know, I'll hang around and get it in the morning. I'm planning to stay at a Walmart tonight. There's also a Sam's Club in the neighborhood. And we may look for a PetSmart, because we're reaching the point where Kit's being reluctant to jump up from the floor to the sofa again. And that's usually a case where his nails are too long. And, you know, he was kind of scratching at me over the past couple of days, and I don't want to bleed. So, better to get his nails cut, I think. GoPro, stop recording. Well, finally, we get to the Killington Resort, which I guess is also the ski lift area, I think, from what that looked like. And I'm glad that I think about it now, because there was overflow parking there that I thought about parking in last night, but we're still at 1,130 feet right now. We had gone all the way down to like 929, but at 1,130, did I say square feet? Feet in elevation. You know, it was 37 degrees when I got up this morning at 700 feet. Probably would have been, you know, below freezing at that temperature, and I guess I'm going to have to watch out for that. I'm going to have to pay a little bit of attention, because if I'm going to get into freezing temperatures, I'm going to need to be able to do things like use the tank heaters. Yeah. Which may mean that I got to pay for electricity. I have a car coming up behind me. I'm going to pull over and let him pass. Yeah, we still have 14 miles to go. Scenic Route 100 byway to the right. I don't know, this has been pretty scenic to me. I think I'm gonna start saying scenic instead of scenic. Beautiful little creek down there. So we're heading for Woodstock, Vermont. You know, there are many more Woodstocks than I would have thought. There's Woodstock, New Hampshire. There's Woodstock, Maryland. There's Woodstock, where the music festival was in 1969, which was, I don't think was a town of Woodstock, might have been. A lot of Woodstocks. Well, and I'm hopeful that I'm going to be able to stay out of the trees enough today that we're going to get the power back up a little bit higher. I was at 60% when I got up this morning and 57% by the time we left, between recharging the original house batteries, making coffee a couple of times, and running the furnace. But we got plenty of sun, so hopefully we're going to get plenty of charging today. And I may need to just, you know, sit for another night besides tonight, so I can figure out some thoughts around weather and timing and stuff like that. We'll see. GoPro, stop recording. We've got a little one-lane construction going on here. We're still just under 9 miles from our destination. And I've managed to accumulate a bunch more cars. So I'm going to try and pull over right here and let them get past me before we continue on. Which appears to be pretty small. Maybe I'll look again for a harvest toast for maybe tomorrow. We'll see. GoPro, stop recording. See how many of the roofs here have a pretty steep pitch to them? There's also a lot of metal roofs I'm seeing. That's a pretty good indication that there's a bunch of snow here, which is kind of interesting to me in view of the fact that we're back down to 875 feet. I don't quite understand. So hope you enjoyed Bridgewater. Oh, officially in Woodstock now. Interesting. Because we're still a ways from our destination. What's that say, 6.5 miles. And I will pull over every chance I get and let cars pass me. Just because, you know, it's the right thing to do. And it's more relaxing for me, too, not to feel like I've got the pressure of holding up traffic. I'm not going to be driving super fast. And especially going up and down the mountains, especially down the mountains. I don't want to be hurtling down the mountain and feel like I'm out of control. I mean, you know, think about it. You drive in a car, there's a lot less required in braking there, but I'm like 14,000 pounds. That's 7 tons. That's pretty significant. And part of what that means to me is that, you know, going down the steep mountains is much more difficult to control. one of the issues is if I let too much speed accumulate going downhill, then it's hard to, you know, get it back without overheating the brakes. Because even to downshift, see, everything is, you know, everything is combined, so to speak. You've got to be at low enough revs on the engine to be able to downshift, but you got to apply the brakes many times to be able to slow down enough to reduce the revs to be able to downshift without over revving the engine. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me. And partly I'm filling the silence in hopes of getting nice views of this beautiful little river next to us here. Isn't that pretty? It's very pretty. And there's basically no shoulder here, so once again, you know, I'm not going to be going super fast. I do have a few more cars behind me, though. Next time I see a pull-out, I'll use it. GoPro, stop recording. Well, we're now dropping the speed limit to 25. And I saw a sign a ways back that said the National Park entrance was sooner than I thought it was, so I'm gonna just have to watch for signs.
Use the right lane to turn slightly left onto River Street. Continue on River Street for 3/4 of a mile.
And the speed limit is 25 miles an hour now. Some beautiful old buildings here.
Turn left onto Elm Street.
I don't really believe you, Google, because I don't see a national park sign telling me to go this way. But we're going to do it.
Your destination will be on the left.
We're going to do it just so we can see the street. But I think we're going to need to turn around. Alright, we're going to pull over for a minute and check this before we get ourselves in trouble. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, well, I just pulled up RV Life's RV Safe GPS and put in the destination, and it's given me the same directions as Google, so, and I saw a big truck go down here, so hopefully I'm fine. Hopefully we're fine. Sure is pretty here.
You have reached your destination.
Well, not exactly. Okay, so now I see the national park signs. Alright, so national park, parking 1/4 mile ahead on the right. Alright, now I feel better. I was just a little concerned. parking straight ahead. Handicap parking to the left. That would not be me. See, the whole thing is a little odd here in that the parking is not clear. Billings Farm and Museum. So I think there is actually separate parking for the park and for the farm and museum, but I'm not really sure. We're going to go ahead up here and see what this sign says and loop around this circle. Open today is what that sign says. So I think you have to pay for the farm and museum. And I think we have to pay for a tour of the Marsh-Billings-Rockefeller historic house. We've got people parked in the grass here. So it's not terribly clear where I'm really supposed to park. Yeah, I don't see anything that looks like RV parking at all. So I think I'm actually going to go back up there and park on the grass in that other area. And then I won't have to walk as far. Gates locked 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. Wonder how they'd feel about locking me in. And part of my issue is that I don't want to park in the shade either. One historic estate, 2 sites, and a shared legacy. All right, that makes me feel better. So I'm definitely in the right place. They're leaving the paved parking area. I think I'm gonna park on the pavement just because I'm so heavy. Just about like that, I think. Back up just a little bit. Okay, GoPro, stop recording. Well, this was an interesting excursion in which I really didn't accomplish a whole lot of pretty much anything. But one of the things that I found out is the national park parking area is actually across the street, not on this side. This is the parking area for the Billings Farm and Museum. And I got all excited after I came back from looking at the Marsh-Billings-Rockefeller mansion. I got all excited because I thought I had a free pass to the Billings Ranch and Museum, but it turns out it was only a $2 discount. And it was late enough in the day, oh, I left my windows open, that I didn't want to take that long to I didn't want to spend that much money. I didn't want to take too long to justify the amount of money I would have had to spend in order to get my money's worth out of that. So we're giving it a pass. But we've walked around a fair bit. We got to see the gardens at the Rockefeller Mansion. Got to learn about the conservation, which is what really made this get recognized as a national park unit, which was all about the conservation that was undertaken by all three of the men that lived in that mansion. So, pretty interesting story there. Let's see if I can find a place to pull over and close my windows. Not quite there.
Turn left onto Pleasant Street.
Looks like I'll be able to pull over here. My solar is doing better, yay.
Continue straight to
I'm
stay
gonna
on
just
Pleasant Street.
pull over here for just a moment. And go close my windows. GoPro, stop recording. Well, I only actually had the kitchen window open, so not the worst thing, but I really don't like driving with the windows open. I'm really afraid of catching a stone or something that can hit on the edge of the window, and then I'd have a real problem. So my solar is doing much better today. I'm up to, I think it said 69% when I got back in, which is higher than I got all day yesterday, and it's only 12:15.
Continue straight.
So that's good.
Pleasant Street.
This is going to be a tough intersection for me. Maybe. I think we're okay. Yeah, it's really hard to see when you come out of angled streets like that.
Continue straight onto Hartland Road.
And all I've got is a big wall over on the right. So, it was important to me to hit that stop because I'm trying to hit at least one national park unit in each state, and that's the only one in Vermont, which is why I routed through here. But we're going to be out of Vermont and into New Hampshire in less than half an hour. Yeah, we've got 29 miles to go, 17 miles to go in 29 minutes according to Google. So we're going to say goodbye to Woodstock.
Continue on Hartland Hill Road for 4 miles.
By the way, the temperature is only 68 degrees. The woman who was volunteering for the National Park Service at the booth outside thought I was crazy for wearing shorts and a tank shirt, but in all fairness, she's in the shade, and I did notice it was kind of cool in the shade, so. Huh, that was an unusual looking trailer. I think it said Avia on the back, never heard of it. Kind of looked like it was Brinkley adjacent. Maybe just because it was black and white. White and black. Okay, so we got road work. Yay! I think it's actually the TV that's squeaking. I can't tell. I can't figure out what's squeaking, but it's making me crazy. I'll just have to live with it. GoPro, stop recording. Well, just over there to the left is a covered bridge, which has a 10-foot clearance, which means I can't go across it because I'm more than 10 feet tall. So that's kind of interesting. And I think I'm going to be looking for a place to pull over again pretty soon. I've got a stacked up behind me. Oh, I'm turning in a third of a mile. So they may be staying on US 4 while I'm going down Vermont 12. Posted bridge up ahead, but it's posted for 20 tons, not a problem for me. Yeah, everybody else is going the other way. Yay! And apparently bridge heights are really an issue in New England. So is Vermont considered New England? I think it is. Not sure about New York. I guess that's something else I'll need to look up at some point. Yeah, you can see some color coming on the trees, but not very many, so I think I'm okay in terms of timing. But I definitely need to pay some attention to that this evening. Stop recording. Well, in half a mile, we're going to come to the posted bridge with the 20-ton limit for 2 axles. And we just passed a place back there, roadside stand, selling eggs for $5 a dozen and maple syrup for $15. I think that was a pint. And those eggs would need to be pretty special for me to pay $5 a dozen. Just saying. Here's our bridge. Are you impressed? It is very, very pretty, I have to say. I am impressed with the landscape. Look at this big red house over here. In a pretty serious state of disrepair. But I think people are still living there. town's looking pretty tidy. Rutland Recreation Center.
Turn right on US Southtown.
Okay. So I guess we're going south for a bit. Oh yeah, because our next national park is south. And we're only 7.5 miles away from it. But we are still in Vermont. 329 there, which for a middle of the nowhere gas station's pretty damn cheap. Look, I caught the flagger right. Good for me. I was wondering, I thought maybe they only had a single flagger. Tell you what, I would not want to be RVing on these fairly narrow roads in the actual wintertime. That would just seem kind of terrifying to me, actually. But I don't really want to be RVing in actual wintertime anyway, if I can avoid it. GoPros, stop recording. Well, I don't know what this little town is yet, but look at that spectacular looking church right there on the left. And this big brick building on the left corner. And this big brick building on the right. You see a lot more brick in the Northeast than you do in the West. Ooh, and look at this straight up ahead. I have no idea where we are though. Windsor, maybe? I think we're still in Connecticut. And we're only 2.5 miles from our destination, which is in New Hampshire. But, what is this? Is this another church? Must be, it's a big cemetery. A lot of churches in this little town.
In 1,000 feet, turn left on Bridge Street.
I wonder if we crossed into New Hampshire and there just wasn't any sign.
At the light, turn left on Bridge Street.
There's the bridge.
In a quarter mile, turn left on New Hampshire 12A North.
Okay, so this is a nervous-making bridge at 10.6. Because I am 10.1. Oh, come on, are you kidding me? I don't think I can cross that bridge. Well, we'll see. It doesn't look very tall. No. I can't do that. Well, there must be another way to get there. It's a national park, for heaven's sake. Okay, well, I picked a good place to turn around. Although there's more traffic here than I would have preferred. All right, well, that was exciting, and now we're going to go through this 10-foot 6-inch bridge again. Yowza. We're up to 71 degrees outside. Well, this is funny because it says underpass is lower than covered bridge, but the covered bridge said it was only 9.2. I need to find a place to pull over and figure out. Oh, how about right here? Where I'm going.
Head northwest on Ridge Street toward Main Street.
How about we pull into this gas station right here?
Head northeast on Main Street toward Durkee Street Extension. Then turn right onto Durkee Street. Turn right onto Durkee Street. Then turn left onto Central Street. Head southeast on Durkee Street Extension. Head north on Main Street toward Durkee Street. Then turn right onto Durkee Street.
Alright, well, let's figure this out.
Turn right onto Durkee
GoPro, stop recording. Okay, well, instead of being 2.5 miles away, I'm 13 miles away, but I'm using RV Life Pro to get me there because I need an RV safe GPS route. Wait. Oh, okay. I thought it was going to turn me down that other road again, but no.
Follow the road for 5 miles.
Yeah, so we're going to go 5 miles in order to avoid going under this covered bridge. All right. I got all the time in the world. That's what I'm saying.
Turn left onto Hampshire 12 North. Head southwest on Main Street toward Main Street. Turn right onto Concord Street.
Connecticut River Byway.
Continue on US 5 south for 1 mile.
Yeah, that could have been a really bad situation. I mean, I kind of get the impression that maybe the covered bridge was not properly marked in view of the fact that the railroad underpass said that the underpass was lower than the covered bridge. But that's not what the covered bridge said. And it did look higher to me, but I'm not going to take a chance on that. That would just be crazy, I tell you. So the Connecticut River is off here to our left. Through the trees, we can't see it. Maybe we'll be able to see it when we do cross over and come all the way back up the other side. Because we're basically going to be retracing all of our steps here on the other side of the river. But this is how we avoid the low clearance issue. And going under that underpass made me pretty nervous. GoPro, stop recording. So I just realized we definitely are still in Vermont. We're seeing Vermont state route signs. But when we get to this national park site, it's in New Hampshire. So that's pretty cool. And I imagine I think I'm going to have to retrace all of my route to get back on the road to Concord, New Hampshire, which is where we're planning to stop tonight. We'll see. Well, here's our view of the Connecticut River. Pretty nice. Okay, here we go. Welcome to New Hampshire. Well, that was cool. RV GPS now.
After 1,100 feet, turn left onto Windsor Road. Now turn left. Welcome to New Hampshire.
Well, thank you, Google. That was slightly late.
Follow the road. 12A north.
Follow the road. Wish I could figure out what that squeaking is. Okay, so we got 7 miles in New Hampshire before we get to our destination. GoPro, stop recording. We just passed the Chase House Inn, established 1766 and still in business. That's crazy. That's like 275 years ago. Wow. We're getting close to where we tried to cross over before. Bridge 21 and 22 to the right. I guess covered bridges are a thing here. Passed one earlier today that didn't look like it was more than about 8 feet high. Covered bridge number 20. That's going to be the one we tried to go through before and didn't quite make it. You see, it says 9 feet 2 inches, but I think it's higher than that. It might be 9 feet 2 at the edge. But I think if you drove down the middle, it would be okay. But I'm not taking a chance on it. That would not be wisdom. And we've got the Connecticut River over here to our left again. We're on the Connecticut River Scenic Byway. There was a wildlife management area there. I wonder if that's one that I could potentially spend the night in. because the road just improved dramatically.
After a quarter of a mile, turn right onto Saint-Gaudens Road. Now turn right. After a quarter of a mile, you will reach your destination. The destination will be on your right.
Well, this is going to be up there in the trees.
After 1,000 feet, you will reach your destination. The destination will be on your right.
And you know, it's funny, I don't mind driving through forests like this or going for a walk, but I can't imagine living in this many trees. It just feels dark and claustrophobic to me. I know a lot of people love it, but it's not for me.
You have reached your destination.
I haven't quite reached it yet. Can't wait to see what this parking situation is going to be like. RV parking next left. Okay, here we go. No camping allowed. Parking lot closes at 5. Okay, so I guess this is where they want us to park. Interesting looking house. Well, I can't imagine there's going to be a whole lot of RVs here today, so I'm going to park over here, parallel. Just like that. GoPro, stop recording. So first thing, we turned over 30,000 miles. Woohoo! 30,014.8 miles at the moment. Second thing is, it appears that the Garmin GPS agrees, at least in part, on the route that Google is choosing, which will be faster than going the way RV Life wants me to go. Is that true? Oh, it looks like Google's planning to have me go backwards. Hang on a sec. Let's just look at that. I'm confused. So, and this park turned out to be much better than I was anticipating. It's 3 o'clock now. I think we've spent about 2 hours there. I had no idea who this guy really was.
In 1/2 mile, make a sharp right turn on Route 12A.
And among other things, he designed the figures that were on $10 and $20 coins that were in circulation, and I forget what the start year was, but until 1939. That was pretty cool. Did some very impressive sculptures in you know, well-known places.
In 1/4 mile, make a sharp right turn on Route 12A.
And his work was very interesting. Now this is interesting because Google has me turning left. And Garmin has me turning right. Oh, I bet Google wants to take me back across that covered bridge to the other side. We're going to follow Garmin. Because we know we can't go across that covered bridge.
In 1,000
Even though it looks like we should be able to. And I think the reality is that we could go across that covered bridge if we could go down the center of it. But if we had to, if we were in a position where
Make
we
a
had
sharp
to be
right turn on Route 12A.
12A south.
to the side, that would be a problem. So we're going to follow Garmin.
Continue on Route 12A.
Well, first I have to get onto it, Garmin. And now Google's going to have to reorient itself. Oh, it did that very quickly. Okay, so it looks like we're going the same way now, which means in 11 miles we're going to be getting on I-89 toward Lebanon. Okay. Oh, and this was also known as the Cornish Colony. The area around here is called Cornish because Saint-Gaudens attracted a number of painters and artists of different venues, not venues, materials and whatever. And they all found it a kind of a complimentary place to be, both from the standpoint of work and from, you know, socializing and all of that kind of stuff. So very cool. This was completely unexpected. I actually liked it better than the Marsh-Billings-Rockefeller memorial that we did in Vermont this morning. But in both cases, you know, part of my goal is to hit at least one site, one NPS site in every state that I travel through. And for both Vermont and New Hampshire, they each only have one. I can't remember if Rhode Island has any. Huh. We'll have to find out. I'm about to get past. Because everybody's in a bigger hurry than me, I can guarantee. Alright, our ETA is roughly 4:30. Okay. We got this. GoPros, stop recording. Well, we must be back in civilization. There's a Home Depot. Don't see any RVs in that one. A couple of Penske trucks. But we still have a little over an hour to go. Oh, and another, that one's a Japanese steakhouse, another Asian restaurant next to the Home Depot. That's funny. I ended up getting Mushu pork last night, which was super delicious. I really enjoyed it. But I'm definitely going to make my own dinner tonight. $3.16 at BJ's for gas. I'm hoping Sam's Club will be nice and cheap when I get to Concord. Find out.
In 1/4 mile, turn right on I-89 south.
I was still tooling along in the left lane there, not paying attention to the fact that I'm going to be getting on the freeway up here. And of course, you know what I always say, if you've seen one freeway, you've seen them all. So we'll just stop right here. GoPro, stop recording. I just saw a sign that said Moose Crossing next 6 miles. I've never seen a moose in the wild. I don't think I've ever seen a moose live. It's not really a zoo animal. Interesting. Be cool if we see a moose. And wait, they close rest areas for the season? That's what that sign just said, I think. Yeah, it says closed for the season. Alright, weird. Our elevation is only 833 feet. It's the beginning of September. Should I be worried? Nah, I'm probably fine. It's a lot of trees, guys. We'll see how I do over the next month or so in the Northeast. But I think it's the idea of adventure that's going to, fuel my interest. GoPro, stop recording. Well, we're finally off of the freeway, so that's good. And we're pretty close to Sam's Club, which I think is pretty close to the Walmart. I was gonna go to Sam's and get gas and, we'll do a little shopping, whatever, first. But I think I'm gonna just go straight to Walmart because I'm pretty tired. Although I may check and see if my liquor store order is ready for pickup. Otherwise, I might end up having to stay here longer than I intended. I have no idea what my plan is for tomorrow at this point, though. It's kind of weird. I can't remember what I've planned in any kind of detail. Road. Isn't that like a weird street name? Oh, well, here we go. Here's Sam's Club. Now I gotta figure out where Walmart is. And this looks like a fairly big Sam's Club parking lot. I may just ask him if I can stay here tonight. Let's go over this way.
Then turn left. Head southeast.
How's this? I don't think this is level, but let's find out.
Feet, turn right.
Actually, over there might be better.
Turn right, then your destination will be on the left.
This looks level enough. Let's see. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, well I kind of messed up a little bit because my liquor store pickup is 15 minutes away. But I want to go ahead and get it today so that I don't have to like wait for a store to open if I decide I want to leave early tomorrow. At this point, I have actually no idea what I'm doing tomorrow, but you know, whatever. So it looks like we have to get back on the freeway now. And we're kind of backtracking the way we came a bit. Oops. But I couldn't trust that I was going to be able to change the route while I was driving. So I decided to just go ahead and do it the way that I had entered it.
In 1,000 feet, take the left 2 lanes to turn left onto the I-393, US 4 West trail to Concord. Use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto the I-393 right. In a quarter mile, merge onto I-393 West, US 202 West.
So we're going to get this done, and then we're going back there. I think we'll probably just go ahead and go to the Walmart, because it may be the only thing I really need at Sam's Club is going to be fuel. GoPro, stop recording. I really don't like traffic circles.
Traffic circle onto Whitney Road. In 400 feet at the traffic circle, continue straight. In 500 feet, turn left onto Merchants Way. Turn left onto Merchants Way, then your destination will be on the right.
Okay, that doesn't seem to have worked exactly correctly. Oh, maybe it has.
On the right.
I wonder what Market Basket is. That might be a, what do you call it? Grocery store? But we're heading over here for the liquor store. Okay, GoPro, stop recording. Mission accomplished. Next stop, Walmart. And man, I am getting very hungry.
Turn right onto Merchants Way. In 400 feet at the traffic circle, take the first exit onto Whitney Road.
I guess I came around the wrong way before because I should have come through the circle, but it wasn't clear what it was showing. And of course I'm looking directly into the sun, so that's not really helping.
In 400 feet at the traffic circle, take the first exit.
I don't see a price for the gas station. Not that it means anything. So we're going to get over to the Walmart, get set up.
Exit the traffic circle on Point Road, then slight right onto ramp to I-93 South.
Make some food, because I'm hungry. That was a very nice store.
Slight right onto the ramp to I-93 South.
They had a big, well-stocked selection,
I-93 South for 4 miles.
and there might have actually been one closer to where I was, but when I was doing the online order last night, which I was doing because it said the sale ended yesterday. Actually, I think it says the sale ends today. So I was afraid not to do an online order and have the prices go back up. No, it said the sale ended yesterday. But when I walked in there today, I could see that the sale was still on for the stuff I was buying. Whatever. I won't be in a liquor store anytime in the foreseeable future now because I stocked up since they had really good prices. But I am really ready to be done for the day. GoPros, stop recording. Well, Google is taking us back a different way than it brought us. So we get to see something different.
Turn left onto West Portsmouth Street. In a quarter mile, at the traffic circle, take the first exit onto Hillside Drive. At 200 feet, at the traffic circle, take the first exit onto Eastside Drive.
Well, 327 at that mobile. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be going through a neighborhood. Because Google likes to do that. So, you know, we'll get to see some of Concord, New Hampshire. Actually, I don't think we're back to Concord yet. Which is weird because the liquor store that I went to, its address was in Concord. But the signs are all, like the freeway signs are pointing toward Concord this way. So, I don't know. I do know I'm hungry. There's a Lance truck camper. Well, some of these houses look very new and some of them don't. Some of them look like 60s, 1960s. And some of them look older than that. Well, I just had an odd thought. I was born in 1957. And it's reasonably possible that I'll live into my 90s. So it's reasonably possible that when I say, oh yeah, it happened in the 50s, I'll have to say 1950s as part of my own, you know, actual experience. There's that word actual again. I need to get that out of my vocabulary, or at least with the frequency that I actually use it.
In a quarter mile, turn
of building going on here.
Turn left onto Broken Ground Drive.
This is called Broken Ground Drive.
Turn right onto Portsmouth Street.
Hey, there's a Harris Waltz sign. We're not in New York anymore, Kit. Oh, and you're not hooked up, dude. How'd that happen? You should be hooked up. Quit licking me. I'm trying to get your collar of your leash on.
Turn right onto Portsmouth Street.
Well, I have to stop at the stop sign anyway.
Continue on Portsmouth Street for 1 mile.
I kind of think when I'm done being on the road, I probably want a tiny house. And maybe in a tiny house community. I'm pretty sure I really don't want to find myself in a situation where I'm sharing walls with anybody. I could probably rent a house though. You know, a conventional house. I don't know. We'll see what happens when the time comes. I don't think it's going to come anytime soon. There's still an awful lot of country left to see. Well, I'm kind of glad Google took us off the freeways. When we stopped at Sam's Club initially, and I brought up the map, it said that Walmart was 0.2 miles away from us, but I couldn't see it from Sam's Club. I'm kind of thinking it must have been in the back behind it. But I didn't see anything else right around there. Continue straight on Old Loudon Road. What the hell does that mean? I think it means this way. I can't see a damn
Head
thing.
southeast toward Old Loudon Road, then turn left onto Old Loudon Road. In a quarter mile, turn right onto Loudon Road.
Okay, this is just weird. Now I can see a whole bunch of shopping over here to the right. Side of the road, dude. Somebody got freshly sealed asphalt.
Right onto Loudon Road, then turn left.
Hope he meant it.
At the light, turn left, then turn right.
Boy, the Shell's expensive comparatively at 339.
Turn right, then you will arrive at your destination.
Okay. So now I got to figure out where we're going to park.
Head east. Head northeast. Head east.
Does that say no overnight parking? Well, crap.
Head southwest.
That's not good. Oh, I guess this isn't part of Walmart. Okay. Let me get this figured out. GoPro, stop recording. Well, I decided I should look up where I found this Walmart from and verify the reviews.
Turn left toward New Hampshire 9 East.
And I think the reality is
New Hampshire 9 East, Loudon Road.
that
At the light, turn right
I was confused with the Walmart that I was in last night. So when I looked it up on all my apps, there is nothing that says that this is an acceptable overnight parking location, and there are all kinds of signs that say no overnight parking. So I'm not going to do it. Even though I finished dinner, I did the dishes, I was settled in watching TV, I just didn't feel right about it. But we're going to go to Camping World, which is 4.3 miles away. Oops, I didn't hook you up, Kit, sorry. We're going to go to Camping World, where it is okay to park overnight. And that's where we're going to stay. I may not be able to hook you up. And the other thing that I realized is that I have no idea what I'm doing for the next 2 weeks. I plan to be in Madawaska, Maine in about 2 weeks, which is 416 miles away from where I am. Oops, we're gonna stop. Sorry, Kit. But I have no idea what I'm doing between here and there. So I really kind of need to land. Hopefully I can land there tomorrow night too, if it's not awful. That's what I'm hoping for. But we'll see. So I need to figure some stuff out. You know, like where am I going? But I want to start with being in a place where I'm not going to get a knock on the door in the middle of the night. So I'm hopeful that Camping World isn't going to be too unlevel. And they seem to be ridiculously lenient about what they allow people to do there. And I know this because I bought Henry at a Camping World in Illinois, and at least at that one, there was a couple who had purchased a fifth wheel, did not own a truck, had no means for getting it off of the parking lot, and refused to leave. They'd been there for like 6 weeks when I got there. And so then, yeah, I mean, I don't know what their plan was, but they'd been there like 6 weeks. I was there for, I think, just over a week, trying to get stuff addressed and get the deal worked out between purchasing Henry and getting rid of Isaac. So I am hopeful that they won't care if I'm there for more than one day. And what is today? Today is Tuesday, I think. might want to see if I can get them to help me identify the correct part number for my awning arm. That would be useful. And so I'm driving 4 miles away from where I was, but when I leave I'm going to end up having to go back to get fuel at Sam's Club, and I probably need to get a few things at Sam's and or Walmart, one or the other. But the fuel at Sam's Club is the second cheapest fuel around. So I'll probably be doing another round of back and forth, which is, oh, wait a minute, my theme for Concord, New Hampshire, because I got to Sam's Club and then I left. Weather Vane Seafood Restaurant. That looks nice. And I feel kind of bad because I think that because somebody else saw me park there, another RV pulled up and parked, and they went in and got groceries and stuff. But I think that they think the no overnight parking signs don't mean anything. And I'm not at all sure they don't mean anything. So when I got there, there was a van, and there was another Class C with a trailer. But when I looked out just before we left, yeah, they were both gone. So they weren't overnight parking there. Alright, so we got 1.5 miles to go. And one of the things that I need to figure out too is I'm going to need to do laundry soon. Don't think I need to dump tanks or get water for a while. I gotta work all this stuff out. I've got logistical stuff to deal with. And so, you know, when all you see are the Instagram moments of rainbows and butterflies, that ignores all the behind the scenes stuff. It's like, oh wait, am I gonna get dinged for parking at that Walmart? Where am I gonna do laundry? How am I gonna handle this? How am I gonna handle that? Oh, there's a Campers Inn. Huh. Heard of them, had never seen one. Heard of them because when I was shopping for an RV, I kept seeing things pop up on Campers Inn, but nothing that I wanted from Campers Inn. Of course, I really didn't want anything that came from Camping World either, but oh well. And I still don't have registration and title. Which is pretty crazy. Alright, so I think the Camping World's going to be up here on the left. From what it looks like in the directions. Their giant flag. Hopefully the lighting won't be too obnoxious. Won't be any worse than Walmart was, that's for sure. Okay, it said go to the left and look for marked RV spaces. Which I'm guessing is going to be over here. RV. Oh, so it's like they're using their RV spaces for parking their RVs. So I got to go find another place to park now. Oh, this might be okay, actually. But I'm going to turn around and check the other side of their parking lot. Just because. Okay, made that turn. All right, well, we'll figure this out. GoPro, stop recording. Good enough. We're actually better than we were. GoPro, turn off.